Moving on the agenda. I got wrapped up in Mr. Tunsil's testimony. Now I have to find myself here. Any public comment on the various proposals for investment we just heard around maximum family grant, increasing grant levels, and the housing support program budget augmentation requests? We're going to ask people to stand, just because I think you go a little faster up here, because I don't know if those mics are working. Given the number of people I see that are queued up, we're going to ask people to keep your comments to under 2 minutes. And we don't have a floor mic, we lost those? Okay, so everybody will be coming to the podium.
On.
It is on, it's live.
Madam Chair, Terry Calgar-Hill on behalf of the California WIC Association, we are in strong support of repealing the MSG rule, and we appreciate your hearing today. All of the topics that were discussed, lifting children and families out of poverty, it's so essential. So again, we appreciate the amount of time this committee spent on these important issues. Thanks again.
Thank you. Next witness, please.
Nicole Wortelman on behalf of the Ventura County Board of Supervisors in support of eliminating the MFG rule, as well as the Ventura County Board of Supervisors and San Bernardino Board of Supervisors in support of the CalWORKS Housing Support Program. Over the last couple of years, San Bernardino County's been able to house about 400 families, and they would really like to continue to help stabilize that population.
Thank you. Next witness.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Monning. Andrew Shane from the California Association of Food Banks in strong support of ending the MFG rule. And Madam Chair, I would just remind you that you spoke to our breakfast last spring and you converted a lot of food bankers. We represent 43 around the state, some of whom were new to the issue, but you've got more people on your side, so thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Next witness.
Rebecca Gonzalez with the National Association of Social Workers California chapter. We're also here in support of eliminating the maximum family grant. We want to thank you, Senator Mitchell, for your strong leadership on this issue. Obviously, this rule only hurts children, and I really think that's contrary to the values that we have in the state of California. And as social workers, we really want these families to become successful, and they can't become successful if they're worried about their next meal and where they're going to sleep. So thank you very much. And we also support the other proposals that Mike Harold laid out as in regards to CalWORKS. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Good afternoon. I'm Vivian Thorpe, former MFG client of 11 years. I strongly support that we eliminate the MFG rule and that we absolutely allow our families to succeed. Having been on the MFG, it caused me a lot of economic hardship. It made it twice as hard and took twice as long to reach my goals, to get through my educational program and to get into job sustainability. I am happy to say that I did earn my AA and my BA, and I currently, my oldest child, where we were homeless for 4 years in Alameda County without any help, she's in Cal State East Bay studying for her Bachelor's of Science degree in cellular molecular biology. So there's some big things happening for all of us who are able to overcome adversity. But with that, we really need to support to make sure that our children, who are our future caregivers and our future leaders of tomorrow, have the ability to succeed. And eliminating the MFG rule, that'll make that possible for families like mine. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing a victory story.
Senator Monning, Madam Chair, in absentia. Noé Páramo, California Rural Legal Assistance Foundation, in support of repealing the maximum family grant rule, and also in support of the increases that have been promoted today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michelle Stoll-Parvensky, Children's Defense Fund California, here in strong support of repealing the MFG rule and raising CalWORKS grant levels. We think that improvements to the CalWORKS program are a really essential part of a comprehensive strategy that we need to have in California to end child poverty, and particularly end the deep child poverty that we know devastates children and limits their opportunities. I would particularly point to the fact that when we're looking at the maximum family grant rule, it really is driving families with newborn babies deeper into poverty at the most developmentally critical time. We know that research shows that poverty, deep poverty, in early childhood is particularly devastating. And so really urge you to repeal that rule. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please, and out of respect for everyone who wants to testify, if you can keep it brief, that's appreciated, but welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Martha Guerrero, representing the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors in support of SB 22, repealing the maximum family grant rule. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monning, and everybody here. We are in support of the MFG grant. We are SEIU California. We represent over 10,000 eligibility workers across the state of California. I think it's key to know that our eligibility workers are tasked on your behalf with doing the interviews for these clients, and obviously a very difficult conversation to have with some of these young women about pregnancies and their personal lives in order for them to be determined eligible for this program. I would like to mention that this is a budget proposal and a bill that's supported by all 700,000 members of SEIU, specifically our county eligibility workers. We're also in support of the measures that were brought forth by Mr. Mecca and Mr. Harold as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Senator. Joshua Golka with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, and for all of the reasons Ms. Orr just described, and on behalf of our county eligibility workers, we also support repealing the MFG. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Good afternoon, Phillida Burlingame on behalf of ACLU of California. We're here in strong support of repealing the maximum family grant rule. As we heard today, it hurts families, and it's antithetical to California's position in support of reproductive autonomy and freedom. 2016 is the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Hi, my name is Jessica Reddit, and I'm an attorney at Bay Area Legal Aid, where I work on economic justice issues. And if I may, just on a personal note, I didn't grow up in California. I grew up in Massachusetts, but I received public benefits as a kid, and I can't imagine where I would be if I hadn't received that safety net. And so I really want to, on behalf of myself and my organization, support repealing the MFG rule so that all children who need the benefits receive them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next witness, please.
Good afternoon, Jill Adams with the Center on Reproductive Rights and Justice at UC Berkeley School of Law, and I am here in strong support of a permanent repeal of the MFG rule. It's a failed social experiment. It's based on a faulty, offensive, and eugenics-laden premise. Beyond being ineffectual, it is harmful to children, and it's punitive towards parents, and it violates our long-standing commitment in this state to reproductive rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next witness, please.
Afternoon, Pete Wywordy with the California Partnership and the Health and Human Services Network. And we not only want to support the return to the 60-month clock and increase grant levels, but also want to resoundingly repeal the horrible, racist, sexist maximum family grant rule. I'm speaking on behalf of the 100 people outside who are wearing stickers right now chanting from the steps of the Capitol, and 15,000 people who have signed a petition here to repeal the maximum family grant. Thank you for your leadership on this issue. We look forward to this being the year.
Thank you. Tell them I'm out there with them in spirit. Next witness, please.
Yes, I just came in from there. My name is Barbara Barron. I'm with the National Council of Jewish Women. I'm speaking, though, for an interfaith coalition that includes California Church Impact, the California Catholic Conference, the Lutheran Office of Public Policy, and the Friends Committee on Legislation of California, as well as our own organization. And like the 100 people outside, we stand in strong support of repeal of the maximum family grant.
Thank you so much. Next witness, please.
Good afternoon. Patricia Sturdivant for California Women Lawyers and Women Lawyers of Sacramento. We speak for thousands of women lawyers and men throughout California who are strongly in favor of SB 23 and in favor of repealing the maximum family grant. It operates to deny nutrition to children at a critical time in their lives. It's unsound as a matter of policy. It's unwise fiscally because it only adds to the expenses as well as to the misery of the families for the future. We urge you to fund the program and provide the nutritional support and basic family subsistence needs that the CalWorks program is supposed to address. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next witness.
Good afternoon. Sandra Fluke on behalf of the members of Voices for Progress, philanthropists, business leaders, successful entrepreneurs who don't face the challenges that CalWORKs recipients do, but who, for all of the reasons that have already been stated, urge that the maximum family grant not only be repealed, but that doing so be the highest priority in this year's budget. For too many years, the buck has been passed. Year after year, this must be the year that we put women and families first in California.
Thank you. Next witness.
Hello, I'm Sarah Sanderson, part of the Coalition for Stronger California. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today, and I strongly hope that you will repeal this eugenics law. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Good afternoon, Jennifer Greppy with Parent Voices California, and I'm here representing the 15 chapters of Parent Voices across the state who ask that you repeal the maximum family grant rule. It's time. Now is the time. We have the money, we have the resources in California, and this is the year that it must happen for these families and for the children of California. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Nicole Collins-Pori with the Women's Foundation of California. We strongly support the repeal of the maximum family grant. We understand that this is not only an economic justice issue, it's a racial justice issue, it's a women's rights issue, it's a family issue, which ultimately makes it a community and a statewide issue. So please strongly repeal this horrible law. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Good afternoon, Mary Ignatius, the statewide organizer of Parent Voices. I just want to tell a quick story of one of our members who wanted to be here today. Ironically, she had childcare challenges. Anna got pregnant with her young baby, and she was MFG. And she was suffering with severe nausea, and I don't know what the medical term is. It's a very hard word, but constant vomiting for the full 7 months of her pregnancy. She had to have an IV put in, blood pressure drop, dehydration, severe medical condition. She had a child care subsidy, and because of this illness, she couldn't get the paperwork in from her doctor to show that she had a medical reason for not being able to work. So she lost her child care subsidy. And so because of MFG and denying her the cash aid she needed to raise her baby, because she's lost her child care subsidy, she's unstable. Her family is unstable. Her older children whose child care subsidy was lost had to stay home with her the entire summer because she couldn't drive. She couldn't go anywhere. The kids had to stay home. They couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't thrive. This is an issue that intersects with a lot of other issues. It is time. It is Women's History Month. It's time to make this this rule history as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next witness.
Hi, my name is Lori Furstenfeld, and I'm here at the Child Care Law Center. On behalf of all the hardworking families and their children, please, please, please repeal the maximum family grant rule. It's sexist, it's racist, it needs to be done. Thank you.
Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Patty Prunhuber. I'm also from the Child Care Law Center. I think you all understand the connection between the need to have child care and the ways in which the MFG rule actually makes that more difficult, just one small aspect. I also am a professor of welfare law and policy, and so I think we understand that this policy came about not because of good policy reasons, but because of a backlash that was occurring in this country. We've now learned that punishing the children for the resentments of people who are wanting to blame welfare recipients for the economic woes of their own is not good policy, and it only hurts families, hurts women, and hurts children. I urge you to repeal this now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Jessica Barthlow with the Western Center on Law and Poverty. Just wanted to highlight what I'm going to give the sergeant, which is the list of over 100 organizations. Some of them couldn't be here who are in support of the repeal in the budget. In addition to a list of a pile of articles to go into the file, including an op-ed from the Sacramento Bee and from the Los Angeles Times calling for the repeal of the maximum family grant, in addition to several pieces from the Huffington Post and from Greenlining and from Slate. that are calling this policy one of the most racist in our state, and calling for the repeal. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Any other members of the public wish to provide comment on the proposals for investment? Seeing none, thank you all who came to testify. We appreciate it. We'll move on now to issues 9 through 13 under Department of Social Services. Issue 5180. We'll start with issue number 9, which will be an overview of the Cal Fresh program. Senator Monty, before you go, can I take the quick vote on issue number 1, BCP appeals case management system? You were here during that testimony and we left, so if we could do a roll call, please.
Senator Mitchell?
Aye.
Senator Monning?
Aye.
Okay, that is out 3-0, correct? Excellent. When you come back, we'll take the vote in the last two. Thank you so much. And so we're going to begin with the CalFresh overview on page 28.
Senator Mitchell, I'm sure you all know Kim McCoy-Wade, who is the new CalFresh bureau chief, new as of last summer. And so she's going to present for us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
How's that? All right. Thanks. We'll take a few minutes and give you an overview of where the program status is and some of the budget numbers and emerging opportunities. As this committee well knows, CalFresh is formerly known as Food Stamps, now nationally known as SNAP. It's the largest anti-poverty program in the country, and we run the largest one here in California. The benefits are 100% federally funded, nationally set eligibility standards, and folks get their benefits on an EBT card, which is for use at grocery stores and farmers markets. Our caseload is up to 4.4 million people each month, which is about $8 billion in CalFresh benefits annually, real money. You see there, it's about 2 million households who are non-assistants, not receiving CalWORKs, and the CalWORKs side of the house is down to 285. And again, the economic benefit, given that that money is spent in the grocery stores, resonates throughout the food economy, food sector. USDA estimates about $1.80 of economic impact from each dollar spent.
Before you move on, could you talk a little bit about the 1.9 million non-assistance households?
Sure.
Who are they, just so?
Sure, they are people who aren't eligible for CalWORKs in the first place. They may not have children, right? And then so they're single adults, or they're folks who have time limited or sanctioned off otherwise. Our fastest...
Wait, the time limit or sanctioned off would still probably, the children would still be aided.
Right, but they're considered non-assistants because the household is mixed.
Got it.
So our typical profile now is a family or individual who gets CalFresh and Medi-Cal. And what we're looking to grow is our folks with working participation and working with wages.
Got it. Thank you.
So an interesting comparison is what's happening in California versus the rest of the nation. The rest of the nation SNAP caseloads have begun to come down, largely tracking unemployment and the economy. We're a little slower, in part because, so our caseload's still increasing, in part because our economy is a little slower to recover, and in part because we are making strides in access. So I believe last time I checked, we were one of 2 or 3 states still increasing. So that's our blue line marching up, and we project that it will continue to march up even as the economy improves. So in terms of the budget, what we've got is a total of $2 billion, $700 million in state general fund for the administration, which is split between the feds, the state, and the counties. And then, of course, in California, we also run the California Food Assistance Program for legally present folks who aren't covered by the federal SNAP program. In that case, the state does pay for the benefits, about $77 million. So we do have one new proposal this year from the governor, which is to continue our upward trend and serve 400,000 more children in the next 2 years. We have a successful outreach program, but we want to really go big on 2 other strategies. One is this in-reach to the families we already know. WIC, school meals, and Medi-Cal, we have kids enrolled in programs who meet our income and citizenship requirements. So we're looking at data matching and targeting to streamline those kids coming on. And then streamlining our business process. As I mentioned, our families increasingly are working and want to apply online on their mobile phones, want to call, want to log in at 10 at night after the kids are asleep to turn in their mid-period report. So we are really looking at expanding the online tools and the telephone the ability to do things over the phone that currently you have to sign and mail and get back. So we know that if we increase access, streamline access for working families, we'll see more working families come on and stay on. So this would fund 5 new regional positions who would help our counties leverage those 2 strategies in particular. They'd be regionally based. They would not be spending much time in Sacramento. They'd be one focused on LA, one on the rest of the southern counties, one in the Valley, one in the Bay Area, and then we have a lot of small counties with particular rural issues, again, where the technology access is really important. So that's what those positions would pay for, and then the next slide shows the return on that investment. Again, if and when we sign up those 400,000 kids, it's really 200,000 families if you think about 2 kids per family, and that's $900 million in food benefits for those families. Again, with that calculation, $1.6 billion in economic benefits. So, and further down the cascade, $18 million in freed up money for taxable purchases, $18 million in annual sales tax revenue. So SNAP continues to be a great return on investment because we are only paying in the state a portion of the admin costs. We continue to be, as we mentioned, moving in the right direction. We were thrilled to be recognized by the USDA for most improved in 2014 because we do continue to grow. That does come with an award that we hope to reinvest in similar initiatives to continue to catch up to where we want to be. Finally, I want to mention a couple other features of the program that are in special attention right now. Of course, there's the Disaster CalFresh program, which can respond in the event of a presidential declaration, which unfortunately we did have in both Calaveras and Lake. But the good news is we got a little practice at turning it on, and we were able to turn it on in both counties, and you see that about $500,000 went out to families who, just for Disaster CalFresh, higher income levels, streamlined. And then mass replacement is for families who were already with us, but because they lost power or they lost their homes, they lost food. So they got an additional $300,000 out to those families. So it was a good experience for us in providing help to people who really needed it. Our priorities moving forward are streamlining our services, as I mentioned. We always keep a focus on accuracy. Again, we want to continue to improve our participation. And then I want to be sure you also know that we also run the SNAP Nutrition Education Program, which is encouraging healthy changes, and SNAP Employment and Training, which encourages job opportunities. And that is probably the hottest topic right now. And I just want to mention all the wonderful things happening across the state. Fresno County was awarded a pilot to expand their employment and training opportunities for folks participating in CalFresh. Then California was chosen as one of 10 states for a SNAP to Skills program focused in Northern California. Those counties are there. And we are working with the Community College Foundation to expand community college employment and training opportunities, piloting it in Santa Clara and Sacramento. This is all a good thing anyway, but it's particularly good because we do know with the unemployment rate coming down, that work requirements and time limits are probably coming back for single able-bodied adults. Currently, the whole state is waived for, I'd say 2 more years, but the time is ticking, so 1 year and 3 quarters, December 31st, 2017, and we are very committed to having an expanded employment and training program up by then to help more of those folks get the work and come off our program for all the right reasons. So that's a whirlwind tour of CalFresh. Happy to take any questions.
That was very helpful. Let me just say, with regard to the Childhood Nutrition Initiative, Senator McGuire and I worked very closely with your department, Department of Education, to figure out how to operationalize that in-reach between CDE, kids who are qualified for free and reduced breakfast and lunch, and the SNAP program. So I'm glad to see we were successful then, once that application was streamlined, got tens of thousands of kids signed up, so I'm very glad to see this investment from the administration. I wrote Senator McGuire a little note. I'm going to share the good news with him, so thank you for that. Any comment from LAO or Finance? Public comment?